Yeah, it was very very tricky condition. Well, it was tough conditions, not tricky. It was just very very humid. Um, and yeah, with the way that he plays, it was a tough match, especially at the beginning. But yeah, started the second set well and started hitting the ball a little bit cleaner. Was more aggressive after that and finished it well.
You just need to go to the toilet. Is that what it was, or there was some suggestion you were having trouble with breathing with the humidity or whatever?
Uh, I was struggling breathing for most of the match. That doesn't change just because I went. I just went to the toilet. It was quite a long set, and when it's that humid, you tend to try and take on as much fluid as you can.
Jordan, when the weather is as iffy as it looks up there, do you find yourself checking the sky during a match at all? And could you also talk a little bit about the implications of having a roof put over Ash down the line compared to other rinks?
When you say looking iffy, you mean in terms
Well,
of you think it's
just
going
the
to rain?
possibility of rain. If there's rain in the forecast and
Um,
stuff surrounding that.
no, well, not today really. I wasn't thinking about that today, but yeah, I mean sometimes the skies had looked like that for the last sort of 5 6 hours. Really, they hadn't changed that much. Sometimes you are conscious of the rain. Sometimes you can feel it coming a little bit with a bit of drizzle, and you will think about it, but not today. And I think with the roof, I mean, I don't know how much difference it makes to the players. For there's 128 players in the draw. It'll help 10 15 players, but it doesn't help everybody. But for the tournament, it's great. It's great for TV. It's great for people that have tickets to come and watch as well. Um, and it means also that the tournament, most likely will get finished on time, which hasn't been the case. I think like 3 of the last 4 years maybe gone onto Monday.
Thanks.
Great.
You didn't look very happy in the first set. Was that just the conditions?
Yeah, it was tough conditions. Not easy to play when it's like that.
You do a lot of training in Florida, so you're used to difficult conditions. How did it compare to that? Was it particularly difficult today, or is it something you're used to that?
I mean, you can get used to something, and then if you aren't in those conditions for 5 weeks or 4 weeks, it's been 4.5 weeks since I've been in Miami. That doesn't always just stay with you when it's not like that, and then suddenly it's extremely humid and you're playing right in the heat of the day. That takes time to get used to.
Andy, last change over the match before you walked out to finish it up. Guy hung an ice towel around your neck, and you walked forward as almost as if you'd been stabbed in the back. Was it just the shock of the weight of
No,
it?
it wasn't the ice towel. It was just I reached back to grab it and I felt my left forearm a little bit. So I went down to basically to stretch it out, but it wasn't to do with the ice towel.
Will it be strange to play an opponent whose last name is not Mayer and you're not?
No, I don't think it will be. No.
That's got to be one of the freakiest coincidences I ever related. No, not even the same country. That's got to be pretty. What are the odds of that, so to speak?
Uh, yeah, I mean they're probably fairly low, but it's probably happened quite a few times. I would have thought.
No, you're well, right.
Yeah.
Right.
You tweeted about Dan's match. I guess you managed to watch a bit of it. He talked afterwards about feeling like he was earning your respect because he's kind of changed his attitude and everything. Is that something that you've definitely seen that he's sort of grown up?
Um. Well, like I always liked him. I mean he's a fun guy to be around. He's funny. Um. But yeah, it can just be frustrating sometimes when someone has that much ability. You really just want to sort of like you want to see them play the way that they can, and you don't want really guys to sort of finish their careers regretting not putting in 110%. I mean, he could make a really good living for himself from playing tennis. He could have some big wins, and he 5 6 weeks ago, you know if someone had said Dan Evans is playing Tony Robredo Armstrong, who's going to win? You would say there's absolutely no chance. That's 3 straight sets for Robredo, and he's turned it around. He's from what I've heard, he's been working extremely hard from the coaches and the fitness trainers that have been around him, and yeah, I mean he's on a bit of a roll just now. He played really well yesterday. I watched almost every point yesterday in the evening, and he very nearly won that match. He almost turned it around. The big problem was the second set for me, not what happened at the end of the fourth set, because Robredo was struggling physically, and if he could have just put in maybe a little bit more effort in that second set, he could have outlasted him.
Bodes well for Davis Cup as well.
Yeah, I mean, like if he plays like that, it's good for everyone, and for Davis Cup, of course it helps. The more guys you have playing well and able to compete with top 100, top 50 players, top 20 players. You put down on when we have home ties on the right surface for him, he can compete with most guys in the world, and it'll be a good test for him on the clay.
Sure.
And what do you think about what Stefan Hewitt is doing this week, using the Pro Tour, being in the first round?
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, I mean, I practiced with him quite a lot. Spent quite a bit of time with him over the grass court season, and he's he works hard. He loves competing, and he hasn't been fit. He has been injured for the last few years. So now that he's fit again, he has the chance to win those matches. He's a great player. People are quick to write guys off and not kind of remember how good someone like Hewitt was at his peak. He finished #1 in the world 2 times at the end of the year, and won a couple of Grand Slams and been in the final of others. So when he's fit and healthy, he can compete with everybody.